Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Just Plain Living. I am John Gray with the lovely Miss Peggy Burton.
Hi, John.
How are you this morning, dear?
I am great. It's the first day of spring, you know.
Today is the first day of spring.
I'm Lauren Foster.
Speaking of spring.
No, I think the way we're doing this today is John introduced Peggy.
Oh, okay. And I'm with the most handsome Jimmy Fuller.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much. We're glad to be here today.
It was nice.
It
Who
is.
is upset because Peyton didn't sign with the Titans?
I know.
You don't care.
I am.
You know, that's the only thing I've cared about in a long time. I do care.
I even care a little bit,
Is
but
the book
not
closed on
really.
it?
Yes, I'd say
I guess so.
that's a done deal.
He decided to be a Bronco.
And I'm not sure what we're supposed to do with our time now. Everybody was speculating on that. Big sports fans like John and I had speculated on that forever for the last 2 weeks.
You could speculate on who's going to be president.
Speculate on who's going to be president.
Now-
Very good, Lauren.
Maybe he should run.
Now you
for president.
speculate on where Tebow's going to end up,
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
because the Broncos will kick him to the curb.
Yeah,
quick.
and you know that was kind of a surprising to me that Peyton signed there, because Tebow actually is not particularly respected by football people, but he is a big fan favorite out there in
Oh,
Denver.
yeah.
They love him
They
there,
love
so
him
you know
because he represents
they'll probably be fans that are not
Something
happy about that.
important, and he's made his statement and he sticks by it. I like that.
Yeah.
He'll probably go to Jacksonville, where he came from, where they have tarps over half the seats.
Tarts over.
Tarps.
Tarps.
Tarts
We're
over.
on the same page.
Know where y'all's minds are this morning.
What's the matter with y'all?
I know you
Y'all
think I'm
don't know
clueless.
anything
I know y'all
important.
think I'm totally clueless about sports, but look at MTSU in basketball right
Yes,
now.
they won.
Beat
They beat
Tennessee.
Isn't
UT
that
last
awesome?
night. Yes.
First time since what, 89 or something like that? I don't know.
Beat
long
Tennessee
time.
last
But
night.
Anyway, I'm
I
proud
don't know.
of
There's
MTSU.
been a lot of firsts at UT this year, but Kentucky beat them in football for the first time in 20, 40 years. I don't know.
Something like
We
that. It's
didn't
been a
mean
while.
to divert you from the tarps over the seats.
Well, the thing about it is Tebow's from there, and if he goes, he's loved in Florida. If he goes back
yeah.
there,
He'll be a huge hero
he'll
there.
fill the seats up.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, it's all about making money.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's not about who's happy or unhappy. It's about how those people can make money. That's what
a
it's
little
all
sad,
about.
isn't it?
You know, that's
That
where it
philosophy
is.
is just a little sad.
It can't
In
be too
general-
sad when a 36-year-old gets paid $95 million for $5 years worth of work.
To
That
throw a
ain't
ball
sad.
around, and that, you can't even call that work.
No, it's not about
By the way,
money.
you know, there's
It's-
kind of a local touch here. I noticed yesterday, before he announced his decision, that Nissan offered to give him a Nissan. They make a truck called a Titan, and they offered to give him a new Nissan Titan truck, built however he wanted it. And also Stan McNabb here in Tullahoma, the Stan McNabb Automotive Group, offered to give Peyton a new Corvette to drive
Whoa.
every year if
Oh
he
my
would
gosh.
come to Tennessee.
Wow.
So, and there were numerous other things. Somebody in Chattanooga, they make moon pies in Chattanooga, and I think they offered to give him a lifetime supply
Moon pies.
of moon pies. There were numerous things that
You know,
just
they
people.
should have, if they'd have thrown in the RC
The
car,
RC
it'd probably been okay.
might have
That
sealed
reminds
the
me,
deal.
Moon Pies reminds me that we have Maggie Vaughn on the show today from Bell Buckle.
Exactly.
And they have Moon Pie Day down there in Bell Buckle, and I'm just
Yes.
so proud that Maggie's here today. She's the poet laureate of the
I
state
know
of Tennessee, and
Oh,
we're
how
going to have a
cool.
wonderful conversation with Maggie, and I'm really looking forward to it. You folks need to hang on there till we get her up here, because it will be worth the wait for you, I guarantee. She's delightful.
Also, we've got today Pat Allison from Church of Christ at Cedar Lane is going to be here. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary this year.
Oh, wow.
So,
Nice. And keep Coffee County beautiful. And what are you doing here?
Scott Rydell. Scott Rydell's over there.
He's here with a theater group.
The Johnny Cash Show. Is that
And Fuzzy
cool?
is over
He's
here.
the man.
Fuzzy.
Fuzzy
I can't remember his
Fuzzy's
name.
here.
Lauren just looks out in the audience and says, "What are you doing here?"
I didn't read the schedule. I
This is
never
a
do my
kickback
homework.
show here, huh?
There's a lot of neat things on the show today,
gonna
and
be
people
fun.
hope will stay tuned in.
Yeah, I do too. And you know, we don't need to forget about Lane Davies, our resident superstar from Hollywood who comes into this area from
And
time
Patrick
to time.
Walter.
Patrick
Walker,
Waller.
Not Walter, Waller.
Waller.
What's wrong with my head?
From Tullahoma. They're going to be at South Jackson doing a Shakespeare sampler.
Thursday.
That's this week Thursday or
This-
next week Thursday?
No, it's not this week, it's next Thursday.
Next week
A week
Thursday.
from Thursday.
Say
there
the
you go.
date.
And
It's
there's
29th.
the 29th.
29th, and there's daytime shows for homeschool or students in any school across the
Yeah.
Middle
The world.
Tennessee and the world.
Yeah, and
then
the world.
The evening performance, which will be preceded by a recorder concert under the direction of Vicki Collinsworth
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
from the National.
So kind of period music.
It'll be wonderful. I guarantee you. I think that music starts at 6:30 and the show itself starts at 7:30.
Yeah.
So if you need a ticket, it's 455-5321.
And the lovely Miss Fran Gray will answer the phone and talk to you. Sell you that ticket.
Sell you a group of tickets.
Bunch of tickets.
You know that this past winter is the warmest winter we've had, I think, since 1950.
56.
I think somebody told
thought
me
it was
in the
51.
40s.
Maybe 51.
I don't
Well,
know.
the average temperature was 44 something, and the warmest on record was like 49 back
Yeah.
in the 30s.
Yeah.
The 30s, that's
Yeah.
right. 36.
Yeah, but
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think you're wrong about all that. Where'd you
I
get
saw that on the news this morning. I did not make it up.
I wanted to add something about
Okay.
the Shakespeare event. A lot of people think that Shakespeare is something you can't understand. Lane Davies has a whole new twist on Shakespeare, and it's always fun. If you've ever been to Bell Buckle and Webb School, he's done theater there, Shakespeare, for several years, and it's wonderful.
So they
I
take
just have
out
to
the
say-
these and the thous and the wherefore art thous and
No, it's not so much that. It's just that he does things with a new twist, and this is called a Shakespeare sampling, which will be bits and pieces of several
Of different places.
great Shakespearean
That's gonna be
pieces.
fun.
It
And
will
you
be
know,
fun.
John, you might relate to our audience who Lane Davis is, in case people don't know. They'll really actually know him if they see him. But
Well, Lane Davies is one of these people that you've seen on
Soap opera.
soap opera TV for years and years. He did over 500 episodes of Santa Barbara. He's been on the Golden Girls, Days of Our Lives.
Julia likes him.
You know, all kinds of stuff. I was watching Fran likes The Nanny, that Fran Drescher.
Oh my gosh,
That show, The
voice.
Nanny.
Yeah.
Well, I was,
Her nose.
for some reason, I was watching that the other night, and Lane Davies walked in,
Right.
and he was playing some type of an Englishman
Yes.
who had come to town, and there he was.
There he
And,
was.
You know, he comes to see us whenever he's around and help promote the Shakespeare Festival in Bell Buckle, and he's a very, very kind and very gracious man. And it's always fun to have him around. So we'll be glad that he's going to be in Tullahoma next week. And also Patrick Waller, who is the #1 actor in Nashville.
In Nashville, absolutely. And he's
And-
been in almost, I believe, all the productions over at Bell Buckle.
At Bell Buckle.
He always plays a wonderful part.
Yeah, and he's incredible. He's an incredible young man, and he's from here.
Oh, and he did
That's
the
good.
Music Man.
Did the
here
Music
last
Man
year.
here last year for the Playhouse.
John, and what is the young man's name? His last name is Lynch. He's a big country artist now.
Dusty.
It's Dustin
Lynch.
Lynch. You know.
Dustin Lynch.
Did you notice? One of my Facebook friends who lives in Atlanta was saying the other day, she posted on there that, man, I've heard 5 commercials today about Dustin
Oh,
Lynch.
really?
You know, doing a concert
Well,
in
he's
Atlanta, and she was surprised to know he was from Tullahoma.
He's a
So.
handsome young man.
Chuck
Doing
Lynch,
well.
Chuck Lynch's son, who used to be the pro at the country club, and now works with DKI over in at the restoration company, and who have sponsored some of our shows, and we appreciate them. We have some film. I filmed Dustin, and I'm going to look for that, when he was in high school and he was performing at McEwen Park under the shed. And I went down there several times, and we had him on our show here a couple of times when they were doing something. That film just might be worth something here one day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it absolutely might. And I'll tell you another piece of film that might be worth something. Actually, we've got several over the years that we've accumulated, and when we get time, we're going to go back.
find them, aren't we?
We're going to bring those back. But one that we actually found the other day was from probably the early 80s, maybe mid 70s, I don't remember, but it was one of the Big Brothers telethons when our friend and partner at that time, Joe Henry, had this group called the Joettes, and
that
Julia,
would've been
our
good.
camera person, and Lauren were in that act.
Gotta pull that off.
And they did this song. Joe was dressed up like a woman. Obviously, you guys didn't need to have to, but they did, I think it was "Stop in the Name of Love."
I believe that's right. We did that one year.
And we know where that is actually, and we're
Do
gonna
your little routine.
and we're gonna
Yes.
bring it back.
That's been
maybe
a long
next
time.
week. Maybe
Fun.
next week.
Yeah, that'd be a good time. Well, Joe's birthday's the 31st.
Right.
So that'd be a good time to bring that out for a happy birthday wish.
I remember shopping for size 12 pumps for him, or 13, or hard to find.
That's right. So, it's funny what happens in this little town. There's just all kinds of people come and go, and we have great things happen from the people who are here. We're fortunate to have
Yes.
a very active art group here
We
in
do.
South Jackson Civic Center.
And Manchester.
And Manchester as
and
well.
Shelbyville and all around us. We are very fortunate.
A lot of
Active
stuff.
artists.
The arts are supported very well, and it's thanks to all you folks out there, because it's all public money.
And you know what? With
Or private money,
$4
excuse
a
me.
gallon for gas, it's really nice to be able to drive over to Manchester and Shelbyville or the Civic Center and see an event.
And not have to go
Or
to
Belleville.
Nashville or Atlanta.
Exactly.
So,
And
that's
we're
right.
definitely getting to that $4 mark. I probably got a.
Oh, it'll be
Labor
there, I
Memorial Day.
guarantee you.
I
Do you
think
think all of
positive.
that'll go away before the election? You think it's a big election ploy?
I'm going to South Carolina for vacation in April, so the price is not going to increase until I'm done with that.
Oh,
And that's
You're welcome.
And this is the way she thinks.
And it happens, doesn't it,
she'll
Jimmy?
probably make it happen.
It could happen.
Just wait and
Probably make it
see.
happen.
It could happen.
But it's always nice to have someone on our crew who thinks like that, because we missed Jenny when Jenny didn't know who the governor was. Yeah. She's very, very smart.
But
And
she's-
I've always been very involved and very interested in politics.
She's not interested.
She didn't get it.
It wasn't part of
So
her. Wasn't
whatever
part of her
that-
path.
However, she did get to the point where she realized that occasionally I was going to ask her who the governor was.
She better figure it out.
She'd figure it out.
They didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like Julia's given us the signal that it's time for us to get this show on the road. Enough of us, and more about all these great folks we have
Absolutely.
waiting to come on the air.
Believe
Gonna be a good show.
So we'll be right back after these messages.
I'm Lori Thompson.
And I'm Mike Thompson, and we own Thompson Ford in Tullahoma, Tennessee. Lori and I bought the dealership back. It's on Highway 55. Same dealership that we had for 10 years. Look forward to serving you for another 10. Thank you to the community. Thank you for allowing us to be here for the last 15 years. Thank you for having us raise our family here.
Thank you for all your support.
It's been a great place. It's a great place to live. Look forward to living here. Put me in the ground here. I'd be proud to do it. God bless America, and God bless Tennessee.
Our office used to look like this. But now with My Paper-Free Office from RJ Young, it's easy. We've made all of our files electronic and stored them in our virtual filing cabinet, which gave us tons of space. And Bob here, a big promotion. Melissa can pull files in minutes and spends hours on Facebook. And Kyle's confidential files stay confidential.
We're not totally paper-free, right? Thank you.
My Paper-Free Office from RJ Young. It's that easy.
Wherever good can overcome, that is where your contributions to the Salvation Army go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have with us, as always, Dr. Ed Lawson. And Dr. Lawson is with the Lawson Holistic Chiropractic Clinic on Maple Hill Drive in Tullahoma, who is here today. And the subject matter today, which I find very interesting, is
The purpose of health.
the purpose of health.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And,
So what is it?
I guess so you can enjoy life more, perhaps.
Sure.
But,
that is
that one of
really-
the answers?
Yeah, that is. I mean,
Yeah.
without our health, we being sick takes up a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can really optimize our time to be here and enjoy life by being healthy. And so what does that mean? We're going to have more time for our families. We're going to have more time to pursue what gives us a reason to be here, to be alive.
And you kind of made a science of this. I mean, this is your life kind of thing.
Yes.
So that you can relate that to your patients as well.
That's correct, yeah. Because it's really, we make a decision to be healthy or to steer away from health with every action. You know, if we're going to sit, I did a talk for the Lions Club recently, and they wanted to, we talked about how to be fit while you sit. And so in researching for that subject, I found that, well, if you sit for more than 2 hours, then physiological processes start happening that make you less healthy.
Oh my goodness.
So you increase risk for diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure just by sitting. Now there are things you can do to stop that.
And I hope you're going to share that with us today, because a lot of people have jobs
that
require
they sit for hours.
that require them to sit. So, so what can we do?
Well, one thing you can do is take breaks, get up and move and stretch. It only takes just a few minutes to break up that monotony of sitting. You can also get a balance cushion. Now that's a cushion that is about 15 inches in diameter, a couple inches thick, but it's only full of air. So when you sit on that, that's unstable, and so your brain has to work to keep you balanced. What that does is it engages a different part of your nervous system and the core muscles of your spine, so you begin to actually exercise while you're sitting.
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
I never
and it also, what's cool is it also slows down or reverses the aging of your brain. Which is good, right?
Which is good, yes. Which is good.
It's really good. Because that's one of the things that, you know, the rate at which we age is controlled by, you know, activity and physiology, you know, the building materials we put in our bodies, and also kind of how we take care of ourselves.
So do you think your brain then can affect how maybe other parts of your body age?
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's a loop. It's a big feedback thing. So that's what the whole purpose of an adjustment in chiropractic. The whole purpose of an adjustment is to reconnect the brain to the body, because the spine's in between that. You know, the nervous system there, and that the misalignments in the spine kind of put a roadblock in between that communication. So either the communication going to the body, like the organs, the body parts, or coming back from it. So if the brain can't hear what's going on with the organs, it can't make corrections.
Amazing. All right.
So it's not only, you know, like the nerves going to, which a lot of us think about, but it's the nerves coming back too. It's a feedback system. And the brain really works to maintain a balance. And what happens with misalignments is that it disturbs that imbalance. So it's kind of like you're steering blind. You can tell you're out of alignment when you just look in the mirror and see one shoulder higher than the other.
Really?
Yeah. Or you can stand on two scales, weight scales, at the same time, and there'll be different weights because we're not balanced.
Because you're shifting one way or the other.
Right.
Okay.
And you don't have mental control over that. That control system is involuntary. That's a subconscious control system. And what keeps it balanced is the fluidity of your spine. And if it's locked up somewhere, it's not going to be able to compensate appropriately, so you're going to be favoring one side or the other.
So I guess the theory back when we were kids and everybody would encourage you to stand up straight and do all this kind of thing, there was some health benefit to that, perhaps.
Well, you really can't stand up straight consciously. I mean, you can try it for a while, but as soon as your mind wanders, the involuntary system engages, and you know you're going to be all cockeyed again, in one degree or another.
One thing that's always amazed me about chiropractic, the chiropractic field, is that you can have a pain here, but it's really related to something else in your spine, totally somewhere different. That's always amazing to me.
Well, that happens in medicine too. You have pain in the webbing of your right hand or over your eyes or your right shoulder could be a gallbladder issue, and the left arm could be your heart. So there are referral patterns. I had a patient, he had knee pain, and when I adjusted his back at T4 for his gallbladder, his knee pain went away. He could squat to the floor. Now, that was the acupuncture meridian system that was causing that knee pain. It was imbalanced.
Acupuncture, now, your field is chiropractic, but you incorporate a lot of other things into that, such as acupuncture and diet.
Yes, diet. Because, like I said earlier, every decision we make brings us more towards health or towards disease. And so we make this choice every time we go to the store and buy either healthy food or junk food. And then when we're at home, whether we choose to eat that food or something else. So we have to, first thing is, have healthy food around you, and that's the only choice you have, so you're going to eat it, And then, and also find out what a good diet for you is. One way to do that, it's pretty simple, is to follow the blood type diet. Eat right for your blood type.
Really?
Yeah, there's the A, the B, the AB, and the O, and there's a book written. It's called Eat Right for Your Blood Type, and there's a whole diet laid out. It eliminates foods that usually react to that type of blood type. For instance, I talk a lot about food sensitivities and allergies. Well, did you know that gluten sensitivity is the number one cause, the leading cause for depression?
Really?
Yeah, so we eat for health.
You're the first person that I ever remember talking about gluten several years ago, and now you hear it constantly.
Yeah.
And tell us some of the sources of gluten, where you would get gluten.
Wheat, rye, barley, and there's 4 main grains. Wheat, barley. I'm missing one.
So if you drink beer, which is made from barley, you're getting gluten.
Yeah, there's gluten-free beer.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't taste as good, but it's it's beer.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not real picky, you can't be picky and eat healthy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And then what happens, though, is the healthier you become, the easier it is to make that choice. You have to go through a lot of discomfort. If you've lived a trashy life, you've got to go through a lot of discomfort to turn that around. And it doesn't affect everybody the same. I've seen some people that don't care anything about eating healthy. They don't eat horrible, but they don't eat great. But they're still making choices that I think could, lead to their demise eventually. And yet, they seem to be hanging in there a lot better than other people who, when they mess up just a little bit, it takes a huge toll. Because once they eliminate gluten, they come back and say, I've had people say, well, my migraines are gone. When the weather changes, I don't feel horrible anymore. It's really weird, they're saying. And I'm like, wow, that's great, And then they'll come back and say, I had a horrible weekend. I think I ate something that wasn't right. And they figured out, well, those chips my husband brought in, or I was at a party and I ate some pizza, and then they had just had a horrible weekend because of that, because their body reacted to it kind of, really bad. And then there's other people on the other end of the spectrum who can, eat bread all day long and not have the problem. So a lot of it's genetic and attitude.
And probably we all know those people who eat anything they want, whether good or bad or whatever, and they don't gain any weight, but that doesn't mean they're not harming their body, I would assume. Is that right?
Right. Like I said, there's a spectrum. There are some people, they can walk into a donut shop, say, and just breathe in some of the dust and have a violent reaction. And there are other people that don't have any problem with it and can break it down mostly. And then there are people who are a little bit east of that, who if they eat it and they don't really feel bad, and yet later in life it finally catches up to them.
We got about 30 seconds left, so let's tell them how you kind of summarize how you, in your practice, incorporate the chiropractic part of it, the diet part of it, the whole thing, into making you a better person.
Well, first, when a patient comes in, I look at their spine. I am a chiropractor, so I'm going to find out, okay, what's interfering with their health, because that is a huge that has a huge impact on the expression of health. So I started addressing that right away, and as their spine begins to hold its alignment, they begin to get healthier. And then I zoom in on, and also throw out the diet recommendations throughout those first week or two. And then I start talking about nutrition and emotions and things like that, you know, as we go. So it's a process.
All right. So I think he will talk to you for free.
Yeah. So I consider myself a health coach.
Okay.
So I'm here to coach you through life.
Okay.
To make better decisions.
So give Dr. Lawson a call. His number's on the screen there, 931-454-0544, and get yourself on the way to feeling better and being healthier.
That's right.
All right, we'll be right back in a moment, folks, right after these messages.
Tommy Anderton and Martha Jane Barton from Traders Bank to share why our Channel 6 viewers should bank with us in 2012. Martha Jane, I've known you to be employed at Traders Bank practically all my life. What is so special about Traders that's allowed you to enjoy 52 years employment?
Tommy, there are several things that make Traders the best. At Traders, it's like family as an employee and for our customers. Each customer receives exceptional personal service. At Traders, we're flexible and timely with our responses. At Traders, we listen and accommodate.
Martha Jane, thank you for that testimonial. Our New Year's resolution is to continue treating customers like family. It's truly why so many people never bank anywhere else.
Traders Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
These are the children who had no chance. They're known as Brazil's street kids. They wander the streets dying by the thousands from drugs, AIDS, and bullets. Most of them have been abandoned, left to survive on their own. These children needed a place to go. I had to do something. So I brought it up at Rotary. People heard about what we were doing and asked how they could help. Together, we raised funds to give them a home and open the school. They're learning a trade. Now hundreds of kids have a family and a future. They're contributing to the community because Rotary believes in making things better for everyone.
Rotary is making a difference right now.
They have hope.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
Hello and welcome back to Just Plain Living. I'm Lauren Foster. I always get the fun, cool, entertaining people. I'm lucky to be here with Scott Rydell from Keep Coffee County Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And it's such a shame that I don't know if we can tie the goat story into Keep Coffee County Beautiful, but we'll try.
That'd be fine. No, that's all right.
Oh, yeah, he gets shy when the camera comes on. Look at that.
No, it's just, I've just had to get him in this morning. I had to go, one got out this morning. I had to get it in before I came, so.
Okay.
I'm just glad I made it.
I'm glad you did, so he didn't gobble up the whole countryside.
Yes.
Tell us about Keep Coffee County Beautiful.
Few people may know that Keep Coffee County Beautiful is a local nonprofit environmental education organization. We've been around for 25 years. Our mission is promoting a cleaner, greener, more beautiful Coffee County, and we do that through several programs. A lot of litter programs, a lot of beautification programs. We are affiliated with Keep Tennessee Beautiful and Keep America Beautiful, which is the national affiliate. Right now, we're right in the middle of a program called the Great American Cleanup. That's a national campaign. Started March 1st, runs through May 31st. We're currently working with other organizations like Tullahoma Pride, the ambassadors from the chamber.
Okay, can I back up and tell me what the cleanup thing is? Because I can think of some places that need attention.
Everybody always has places that I need picking up or can think of one. The Great American Cleanup is a campaign put on by Keep America Beautiful. It is just a period of the year where they encourage individuals to encourage them to take an extra step to do a little bit more for their community when it comes to maybe picking up trash. Fine example is I talked to an organization about an association about a week ago, and they all walk each morning. And I said, well, how about, I give you all some litter bags, and as you walk through your neighborhood, instead of complaining, you just pick up that 2 bottles and you throw it away. And I was encouraging them, if you can do it by house and block by block, suddenly you have a gorgeous subdivision,
Right.
And I always say it takes just as much energy to complain about something as it does pick it up.
It really does, maybe a little more.
Yeah, and but it's a national campaign. Whether it's helping pick up litter, volunteering, planting a flower bed that you've never planted before, recycling. Well, we never recycle. Well, how about you just for these 3 months, just try it. Just trying to encourage them for those 3 months to do a little extra. Hopefully, some of it will stick and it'll become a lifelong passion. So.
Okay, now when I lived in the city and recycling was very easy because you had a separate bin, you just tossed in the recycling and they took it away. What are our options here in Coffee County for recycling?
Here in Coffee County, you got basically it's Tullahoma, Manchester, Coffee County. Tullahoma has curbside recycling.
Okay.
Manchester does not. The county does not. Coffee County does have a recycling center. It's over behind the administrative plaza where you go vote or get your tags or pay your property taxes. And it's open on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesdays from 3 to 7, 3 in the afternoon to 7 at night, and Saturdays from 7:30 to 1:30. They basically will take back anything, glass, plastic, cardboard, paper, aluminum. They'll take the big, what I call the big 5 or 6 bag, There's also 9 convenience centers scattered throughout Coffee County. A lot of those will take back paper, cardboard. Some of them take back plastic, and all of them take back scrap metal. So, worst comes if you can't make it to those, you can just go to stop by one of those.
Now, does it all have to be sorted beforehand,
yes,
or can you?
Yes.
Okay.
Just like Tullahoma, you have to be sorted.
Harder and harder.
Yeah. Well, I always just sit there and say, recycling is just basically throwing your trash away in an organized fashion. Okay. You would have taken it to the curb anyway. Just make sure you take it to the curb in the same container.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt. Continue on with your other affiliations and things that are coming up.
No, it's like I said, right now, it's just a big campaign for. Just trying to put a spark in people to maybe do a little bit more for the community from the standpoint of recycling, helping pick up litter. Like I said, beautification is a big thing. Right now, we're also our beautification awards are coming up here very soon. We have residential and business beautification awards. Those are awarded throughout Coffee County. Right now, we're asking individuals to nominate businesses that they think, have really gone above and beyond to do some landscaping, or residents who just every Saturday and Sunday you see them out there digging in their flower beds, weeding, adding new bushes, and they can do that by emailing Keep Coffee County Beautiful, which is kccb@cafes.net. I got here early and dropped it off. and so they can just let me know who they want to nominate, give me the location, and tell me kind of why. Another program that I'm really pushing right now is the Stop Litter program. One of my biggest complaints I get, people will call me and go, I saw somebody throw something out their window of their car. What can you do about it? Nothing.
Right.
But I can tell you what you can do about it. There's currently a number. It's 1-877-8-LITTER. LITTER.
I read this little public service thing on the radio.
Yes, that was my. And if you're driving down the road and you see somebody throw something out their window, you get their tag number. You can call that number, report what they threw out, what the location is, what the date is, and their tag number, and that person will receive a friendly letter from the state of Tennessee. But it'll say you could be fined up to $1,500 for littering on this date at this location. That's at least a friendly warning. That's at least a step encouraging somebody to say, hey, we're watching, and maybe I didn't realize, I didn't know what we were doing. So.
Right. That's a great idea, and I don't get why people still think it's okay to just toss things around.
I don't either. Trust me.
Education.
Yes,
education. That you're working on as well.
We're out in the schools a lot. Last year, I talked to over 1,000 students about recycling and litter. I go out I've been out to several schools, and same thing, I talk to them about recycling, what they can do, and it always warms my heart when I'll sit there and say, I ask the class, hey, what can we do to cut down on litter? And I'll start it off, I'll go, and all I have to do is just say that R sound, and you have 35 fourth graders or third graders go, reduce, reuse, recycle, and I just love that. I'm like, okay, they're getting it. And I just want to make sure that goes on to, teenagers and young adulthood and all that and things like that.
Adults.
Oh yeah, everybody. Yes. Another thing that our organization does is we look for grant opportunities. Last year, the organization got a $5,000 cigarette litter prevention grant. We bought over 80 ash cans for Coffee County, like 10 for Manchester Park, 8 for the Coffee County Administrative Plaza. I bought 20 for downtown Tullahoma, 20 for downtown Manchester, a few for the South Jackson Civic Center. I've also applied for that again this year. I think I've got the one for Bonnaroo. We're buying like 50 for out of Bonnaroo. Right. And then I've got some more to, I'm trying to get some more for the downtown Tullahoma and downtown Manchester. Also passed out over 1,600 pocket ashtrays last year. Everybody seems to love those and enjoy those, but but a lot of people, when I see somebody smoking, I go, oh, here you go, and they'll go, oh, that is so neat, thank you, I'm working on a couple other grants right now. One's a UPS Community Improvement Grant. Another one's a Lowe's Community Improvement Grant. I'm trying to get recycling, working with Coffee County High School right now, and actually trying to make another recycling center at the Coffee County High School. That way when parents drop off their children, throw in the plastic. When they drop
off your recycling with the kids.
And when they pick up their kids, or if they're, because half this class doesn't drive, but if you, or just give it to your child and say, hey, drop off the aluminum while you're there. Right. I'm trying to get that grant, so I'm working on those things like that. So.
Okay, and is there a website? There's a phone number that you can call for more information. Is there a website that we can browse around?
We do have a website. We also have a Facebook page. That's usually if you want to check on our most current things, you go to Facebook and see what we're doing.
And just search Keep Coffee County Beautiful.
And also, if you want to volunteer, I encourage anybody just to send me an email at that same email address and just put volunteer in the subject line, and I will put you on a mass volunteer emailing list, and when something comes up, I'll send out that email, and if you want to show up, great. If you don't, maybe next time. And we're doing a cleanup on this road. Boom. Hey, I wouldn't mind doing this. Let's take the kids and we'll go pick up trash.
Very nice. Great idea.
But I'm trying to do that. So.
Okay, awesome. Scott, thank you so much for being with us.
Enjoyed it.
Good work.
Thank you.
And good luck with the goods.
Thank you.
Y'all stay with us. We're going to be right back with more Just Plain Living after this.
Since 1985, Life Communications and Security has been a household word in Middle Tennessee, mainly because people trust and believe in Life Communications and Securities in the work they do. Led by owner Jeff Wooten, LCS has continued to grow and earn the support of their many customers. When we ask businesses and homeowners who they put their trust in, these are the answers we receive.
Tommy Anderton with Traders Bank. When it comes to security and communications, we call Life Communications.
For all of our security needs at First Vision Bank, we call Life Communications. Life Communications is a small investment for us to take care of our major investment.
Knowing this, why would you ever call anyone else for your security or communications needs? Call Life Communications and Security at 931-455-9016 or 1-866-535-9016. That's Life Communications and Security.
I'm Marley Matlin for the American Red Cross. In an emergency, infants and children can't always tell you what's wrong. Being able to read critical signs and knowing how to respond can make all the difference. The Red Cross offers infant and child CPR training, where you can learn how to recognize and respond to respiratory and cardiac emergencies. Visit www.redcross.org or call 1-800-HELP-NOW. Together, we can save a life.
For things other people get right away just doesn't make much sense. Get high-speed Charter internet and enjoy downloads way faster than DSL.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And this is the part of the show for me that is so exciting. I'm almost beyond myself because I get to visit with the state of Tennessee's poet laureate and my friend, Miss Maggie Vaughn. And Maggie, welcome to the show.
Thank you, John. It's great to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. Maggie, you live in Bell Buckle.
Right.
And have been there for quite some time.
I moved there in 1982. I had, before that, I was working for the Tennessee and Banner in their advertising department.
And advertising.
In advertising. And all my life I knew I wanted to be a writer. So in 82 we had a recession going on, if you recall, And I went in and I said, I'm moving to Bell Buckle. I'm going to write. And they said, are you nuts? We're in the middle of a recession. No one makes a living as a writer. Have you just gone crazy? And I said, yes, I have. And I'm moving to Bell Buckle. So
now, who did you tell that to?
I told it to my boss.
John Ziegenthaler?
Well, no, John was publisher.
Okay.
Remember, the advertising department was like, he was over the editorial and
Right,
things like I was in the advertising. So I told the advertising director.
Yeah.
But John was a big help to me. He published my first book, the Tennessean did, called 50 Years of Saturday Nights, about the Grand Ole Opry.
I bet I haven't seen that book.
Well,
and I need to get that.
Well, it's been out of print. I may have one somewhere in a closet or something. I updated it years later and called it Grand Ole Saturday Nights. So, but he was the first one to put a little book out on me.
Maggie, what does it take, or how does one become the poet laureate of the state of Tennessee?
Well, let's see. It goes through the House of Representatives and then passed on to the Senate and signed by the governor. It's like a bill. Now let me tell you this. By far, I am not the best poet in Tennessee. They want someone to represent Tennessee where you can go and everybody understands you.
Right.
You can go to Little Crossroads, or you can go to New York City, or San Francisco, or Alabama, or so, and they know what you're talking about. And so that was their main criteria.
And to your estimation, how many poet laureates have there been?
I think there's only been two. Peck Gunn was before me, and then myself. Someone said John Trotwood Moore might have been years ago, but I don't know. So I say two.
And did you come directly after?
Yes, he passed away.
And
they did a search, and it came down to three of us. And so I knew they wanted me because they told me, but they had to do something.
Sure.
So they called Vanderbilt, and they got Walter Sullivan, who's a writer, and he's passed away since, and taught literature. And he said, well, if you want this particular one that's trying to be Shakespeare, you know, or there was another one, he says, I don't know their work, but he says, if you want a poet of the people, it's Maggie Vaughn. Well, that's all they needed to hear, coming from Vanderbilt.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I'm not an academic. I know a lot of academics, and I've tried to write some like they do, but everybody says, don't do it. Do your voice. I tell that to young people all the time, and to writers of any age. Find your voice. And I found mine in country music.
And when did you start doing that, Maggie?
Oh, I wrote my first song in the 3rd grade, and I went to Mama. And I said, Mom, I want to be a poet and a songwriter. Here's my first song. Mama looked at it and said, it was titled, Here I Sit Alone at the Bar. And Mama said, are you sure you don't need to be a nurse? And I said, no, Mama, I don't want to be a nurse. I want to be a poet and songwriter. And I kept that dream. I kept it, and I tell students and people every night, no matter how old you are, keep your dreams.
Oh, yes, you must.
Don't let anyone put out the fire in the belly.
You must do that.
You must do
that. How many songs have you written?
Oh, Lord. I don't know.
Bunch.
Yeah.
Who's recorded some of your songs, Maggie?
Loretta Lynn, Conway Twitty, Ernest Tubb, Charlie Leuven. I don't know. You know, that was kind of another life. Although Loretta wants me to come and write some more because she likes my writing. And in fact, I had a song nominated by her Grammy Awards several years ago.
Well,
and she forgot I wrote it. Didn't even let you know, did she? Finally got my name on it, but she you know, she can't read my writing or anything, so I probably didn't even put my name on it because, you know, we know each other so well.
Sure.
She just forgot. It's okay.
You've brought several books with you today.
Yeah.
Is there something that you would like to read for us today?
Oh, I'll read a couple of things for you. I'll read my most requested poem.
Okay. And while we're doing this, while she's finding that, what I want to do is Maggie needs to sell some books.
Well, if I can.
Likes to. Yeah. We're going to put Maggie's post office box number and her phone number up on the screen. And that way that you know how to get in touch with her.
Yeah.
And order.
Order. $10 for this book.
Maggie Vaughn.
Honey. Honey, I am awful. Just, you got to self-promote when you're a writer.
Well, of course you do.
Ooh. Well, this is my most requested poem.
Okay.
Now, this is a tearjerker. Okay, and I'll tell you a little something after I read it to you. It's called, Is That You, Mama? Is that you, Mama, who just put a hand to my brow? And today when I couldn't work things out, was that you who showed me how? Was that you, Mama, who just turned on the porch light? You always had one on to keep me safe at night. Mama, was that you by the stove cooking beans and cornbread? And was that you during the night standing watch beside my bed? Was that you, Mama, who knocked that old bumblebee away? And you who called me in to supper when I came in from play? I know I felt you kiss my knee when I bumped it on a chair. And Mama, when I knelt to pray, was that you listening there? Is that you, Mama? Is that you? Did God let you come home to me? Or maybe you never left? I was just too blind to see. Or was it I felt so bad today and you knew I needed you and God let you visit for just a day or two? Well, Mama, I'm okay now. You tell the Lord I said hi. Was that you, Mama, that just kissed me bye? That's my most requested poem.
Well, I can see why.
Well, you know, it's simple. It's from the heart. When I go to these literary festivals or to colleges and things, where all these academic PhDs are sitting behind me or around me. Well, when I get up to read that poem, they throw up. They think it's the worst poem that's ever been written. And Times sell books. There's 3 in their line, and everybody else is in my line. And I lean over and I say, you know, if you write something about your mama, you might sell a few books. So I have a time with the academics. I like them, but I don't. I'm not an academic. I have deep things in my poetry. I mean, I've got some things you have to kind of read maybe twice. But some academics just really write for each other, and I don't. I write for the mass out there.
For the people.
For the people. Yeah.
Well, you, when I was at your home recently, we were discussing some stuff, and you told me that you had made a trip to visit Maya Angelou.
Oh, man.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, in life, when you do something, you never know what's going to happen. You lay your life out there, and then it takes place. I was invited to her home for lunch, and I left a couple of books. I left 2 books, When Grown-Ups Play Children's Games and The Other Son of God. And I thought she would like those. And she wrote me the most glorified letter that you have ever seen, that I wrote music for the human spirit and ear, and her only regret was that she had not written those books, and I had written it for everybody. So that made me feel great. It was wonderful being with her. Then before that, Bill Moyers of PBS came by and looked me up in Bell Buckle.
Bill Moyers?
Bill Moyers
came to Bell Buckle.
To Bell Buckle. He was there visiting, I think, over at the Paris Patch. They'd all been Baptist preachers or something together there in Texas, or going to school. And he said, I've heard about you and I wanted to meet you. And when he left, I read poetry to him on the bench in front of the buildings in Bell Buckle. And a big crowd gathered there, you know. And it was just wonderful. And he could not believe there's a poem in Light in the Kitchen Window that I wrote years ago about Maya Angelou, or Angelou is what she likes to be called. I wrote it when she went home to Arkansas with him, and he reminded me that he did that show. And I read the poem. He could not believe it. He said, I can't believe that you wrote that poem. And what they said, when he got on the airport, he had my books under his arm. So, you know, you just never know.
You can't ask for much better than that,
I had a good year last year.
Sounds like it.
Now I'm with you.
Yeah, that's right. And that makes me have a good year this year.
Oh, Lord, huh? Y'all do a good job here.
Well, thank you. Would you give us one more offering?
Well, let's see. Yeah, I shouldn't be saying yeah.
Sure, you should.
That's that
what
country
we all
in me,
say.
I guess. You know?
We're all country.
I'm going to read one. This is called You Laughing, Ain't You, God? Now, I've been out there trying to straighten out that Church of Christ preacher that's coming on, Pat Allison. I don't know if
Did you do any good?
Well, I don't know. We had a little debate. I come to Bell Buckle. We'll finish it up over lunch. You know, my whole family's Church of Christ.
Okay.
But I got out. My brother's an elder. Oh my God, we fight every day. I mean, he calls me every day to tell me I'm lost. Can you imagine your brother telling you you're going to hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Oh well, it's okay. I love him anyway. What I did was, I did a book called "You Laughing Ain't You God." Because I've been to every church you can go to, trying to find the one. I'm a Methodist, really. I'm a Methodist at heart. And I wanted to write a book about how crazy we are, how crazy the churches all get to fighting and splitting and over the color of a carpet, you know?
Right,
and so I tell you this, I don't know how much time I have left.
All you need.
Well, in Bell Buckle years ago, the church got to fighting because, you know, every summer they bring in a guest preacher at one of the churches there. And the church got to discussing that this preacher, every time he came in, he'd split the church, no matter where he went to speak. So they got to arguing over if he's going to split the church or not. And they split over, arguing over that's going to split the church.
Before he even got there.
Before he even got there. They had to build a new church. Yeah, this is true. So this is divided into 4 parts. Revelation, Genesis, and Revelation is in the back, and in between is Psalms and Acts. And but it mirror what happens is in Genesis, the Lord comes and destroys. You know, it's the end. And he looks at it and says, "Oh, what a mess! I'm going to give him one more chance." And he puts birds in charge. Okay, and then
here we go.
Okay, so I'm going to read you though. Psalms are things that have actually happened to Maggie Vaughn.
Okay, very good.
And they're all true. This is called Easter morning. I woke up feeling lazy Easter morning long ago. I should have dressed for church, but I didn't want to go. I made up several excuses so I could stay in bed, like I had a stomach ache or a bad pain in my head. Then there's that old excuse, I had nothing to wear. Besides, it was getting late, no time to wash my hair. So I rolled over and went back to sleep. A few hours later, I was back on my feet. Feeling much better now and in a better mood, I left the house in search of midday food. After I ate lunch, I was on the go. It didn't take me long to choose a picture show. I had a little time to kill, so I was driving slow. I pulled into Big Lots, a fun place to go. I walked up and down the aisle, shopping is my vice. I noticed Easter chocolates marked down to half price. I bought a big closed box, thought it was groovy since candy is so high when you get it at the movie. I waited for lights to dim to open up my treat. A piece of milk chocolate made my heart skip a beat. I had taken several bites, much to my delight, when I noticed the candy wasn't shaped just right. It wasn't round like some or shaped in long bars. It wasn't shaped like that little box of stars. I couldn't figure it out. My mind was at a loss. Then I realized to my horror, I was eating a chocolate cross. Then the guilt set in. My heart was at a lurch. It was Easter Sunday and I'd skipped church. I told myself I was sick. Now I was really ill, sitting in a movie eating a cross from Calvary's Hill. I knew I'd be punished. God never takes a hiatus. Not long after that, I came down with diabetes, and I did. I was sitting in the movie here in Tullahoma when all that happened. So,
Maggie Vaughn, you're a delight.
Well, thank you.
I wish we had more time. You're going to have to come back.
Let me come back.
You
I'll
can
do
come
some
back
more.
anytime you want to.
Yeah.
Folks, if you need to see Maggie Vaughn, you can find her at Bell Buckle, Tennessee.
That's right. Come
You'll
see
find her at the cafe down there sometime.
Or the house.
Or the house.
Come to my house.
And her house is absolutely a museum because she not only is a poet, she is also an art collector and a collector of all things odd and beautiful.
Oh, I hope so.
All things odd and beautiful.
You
got me, and that's about as odd as it gets, folks. We'll be right back after these messages. Thank you, dear.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. Plus free internet banking and bill pay, bank your change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want. So you can bank when, where, and how you want, at our offices or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
If you're looking for a great atmosphere, good music, an open design, and a staff that understands what it takes to serve the best food around, you'll find it at the Timberloft Restaurant in Manchester. Locally owned and operated, the Timberloft features smoked meats, prime rib, black Angus steaks, sandwiches, burgers, pastas, incredible appetizers and sides, and decadent desserts made in-house. Searching for a new place to hang out with company clients and friends? With a cozy feel, a quiet bar, awesome drinks, and big city quality food, you found it when you visit the Timberloft. 1165 Woodbury Highway, Manchester. Catering and party planning available. The Timberloft. Spectacular.
This facility was built literally on the international date line to bring Charter customers tomorrow's technology first. Like Charter Internet, which was just made faster again. With speeds up to 100 megs, you can download a movie in 2 minutes. The #1 internet service provider in the nation. Click.
Fogelman, good luck with the presentation tomorrow.
Already nailed it.
Get Charter Internet Express for only $19.99 a month.
Welcome back to Just Plain Living. I'm on the set today with Pat Allison, ministers at the First
Church of Christ on Cedar Lane.
Okay, thank you. On Cedar Lane, the big, humongous church. It's beautiful, by the way.
Thank you very much.
You all
Appreciate
have
that.
added many, many buildings along the years, it seems like.
Well, we were at Bel Air over across from the school.
Right.
And that congregation began back in January of 1962.
Which means we're up to 50 years.
That's exactly
and you're fixing
right.
to have a celebration.
Exactly.
Let's talk about it. Tell them about the
Sunday.
celebration.
Our 50th anniversary will be this Sunday morning. We will begin that at 9 o'clock at the building on Cedar Lane. Activities planned through the morning.
Do they just come into the main entrance?
Auditorium.
Okay.
We've got seating capacity there for 650, 700.
Wow.
So it's, we can accommodate quite a few people. We have had over 900 in there at one time.
Oh my goodness.
And obviously that filled the building up.
So you're inviting anyone that wants to come.
Anyone that would like to come, we would love to have them. Absolutely.
Wondrous event.
It's a community event. We think that it is. The worship service will begin at 9. And that will be followed with some personal things, a PowerPoint presentation of pictures of the past.
That's
and looking, nice. It is. It's hilarious. I've seen some of it.
It's always interesting because you'll see the ladies in hats.
Yes,
there's a period of time when the ladies were in hats and white gloves. And always dressed up.
Very much so. And those times, I guess, have gone, Peggy.
I know. It's a big change now.
Very much so. Cedar Lane, the congregation now recognized several years back that we needed a place where we could grow, and so we purchased 15 acres over here on Cedar Lane.
It was 15 acres.
Yeah, and the decision was made to build there and to allow us, it at least would give us the opportunity to grow and to expand, and we felt like that we could do more as far as a community outreach.
Right.
And so that's what we have done.
So what are some of the activities that take place there?
Well, we have Bible classes for all ages, starting with just little children and going all the way up to the seniors. I am one of the senior ministers, that is my area of concentration with our seniors. We have 4 ministers. There's a pulpit minister, youth minister, a marriage and family counselor minister,
nice.
And then the senior ministry.
Do you find that people are seeking marriage counseling now?
Definitely so.
That's good.
We're affiliated with the Agape program out of Nashville, and so we do offer counseling service as an outreach to the community.
So not just, you don't have to just necessarily be a member of your church.
Definitely not. Anybody
that just need help.
Yes, and that's really the theme of what we're trying to do, is to reach out to people that are hurting and need help. And
that's what a church should do.
I think that is the call that we are made to respond to. to be loving and compassionate and tender-hearted to people, and where they're hurting, we try to go and hold hands and do whatever we can, from burping babies to holding the hand of someone that's grieving. And we have an upward program.
But it's really a huge responsibility on the church.
It is, and one that congregations should feel honored that they can fulfill something that is really the mandate that Christ has called all of us to do, and that is to be loving and compassionate.
To be loving and compassionate to your fellow man. About how many members do you have there?
The membership is a little over 500.
That speaks well.
On any given Sunday, we will have somewhere between 450 on average.
Now, do you have just one service during the day? What are your services like?
We do. In fact, when we were at the old building at Bel Air, we had to go to 2 services on Sunday morning to accommodate
all your people.
And that was part of the reason for the decision being made to move to a new location. Build a larger facility that would allow all of us to meet there
at the same time.
So
you have, is that 11 o'clock on
It's
Sundays?
at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Our regular worship hour is at 9.
I see.
That's followed with a Bible study at about 10:15, 10:30. And the services again on Sunday evening at 6. And then we have a midweek service at 6:30 on Wednesday evening. Yes.
All right, let's talk again about your 50th anniversary, which is this week.
This coming Sunday.
At 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
And I guess you encourage people to come a little early so that
would be
the
good.
service actually starts at 9, doesn't
it? Does. It begins at 9, but it gives us an opportunity to come a little early. We can visit and socialize and actually talk about the past and look forward to the future.
Look forward to the future. Yeah. Well, it sounds like a wonderful event.
We're looking forward to it.
I know you
We'd love to have you come.
Thank you.
I was just absolutely mesmerized by Maggie and talking with her and trying to get her to come. She said no, she wouldn't be there. But
she's not going to come to your church.
No, but we're going to. I'm going to go down and visit with her.
She
and,
might.
And we'll get to visit and talk.
Well, I have to say one thing about, I teach private voice, and any voice student that comes from your church, always a good a cappella singer, and that speaks highly of the music people there. Who is your music person?
Well, actually, it's everybody that's there.
Just everybody
it's a chorus of 400 plus people.
And I think that's wonderful.
It gives everyone an opportunity to use this wonderful gift of the voice, the human voice that God has created and makes us unique among all of His creation. That we can be songbirds in our own way and offer this as a service, as a worship to Him.
As a worship to Him.
Yeah.
Okay, any last words you want to say about your church?
We would like to invite everyone to come and to visit with us. There are a number of programs. We have a benevolent program as a part of our outreach. We also have upward basketball program as a part of our outreach.
Okay.
The counseling service is a part of our outreach. We have some school involvement activities in the community as a part of our outreach, and we're looking for other avenues that we can participate in.
And I'm assuming that you're always welcoming new members.
Yes, we are.
And encouraging people, whether they want to become a member or not, to come
and visit with us.
And not see what a wonderful church you have there.
I think there are a lot of people that have special hurts, and there are needs that they have, and sometimes having a church family and a church home provides them with a very wonderful support system that they may not have, because if they have moved here from somewhere else, they're separated from family.
Exactly.
And the church can provide a wonderful family support system to people that are having some real serious problems.
And often we overlook people that may be very quiet about their problems, and sometimes if they can just come and sit in the church and listen to what's said, they can be moved to possibly get involved in one of your outreach programs and share in that.
And we've got a wonderful young minister, Stephen Hovatter, and early 30s, and just does a phenomenal job of presenting God's Word.
Yeah.
We have a young youth minister, Jeremy Crow, and his wife have recently come to Cedar Lane. Gary Johnson, his wife, Jennifer, actively involved in the counseling service.
It sounds like you have a huge base of supportive people to do this reach out work.
I think we do. I think we do. We're trying.
That you do.
There really is a genuine love, care, and concern by the people there that make up that church family to this community.
Exactly. Well, we are so proud to have you in our community, for starters, and don't forget the 50th anniversary this Sunday at 9 o'clock. Sorry. That's March the
25th.
25th. And put that on your calendar, because certainly if you don't have a church to go to, this would be an opportunity to visit a wonderful church. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Peggy. Good to
Thanks
see
for
you
coming.
again.
Good to see you. Say hi to Don Midget.
I
We'll be
will.
back.
I'll tell Don hello for you.
I'm NASCAR driver Mark Martin. You know what's worse than waiting in traffic? Waiting in the emergency room when you're in pain. So choose the ER that's extra fast, ER Extra. ER Extra is specifically engineered to get you the help you need and back in action with race car speed. ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
ER Extra. Exclusively at Harton Regional Medical Center.
Get Tullahoma's news first, fast, and free with Tullahoma's News Leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Jimmy and Jenny bring you local weather, sports, community calendar events, birth announcements, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Tullahoma's News, get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Hello, welcome back to Just Plain Living. I'm Lauren Foster, and as I always attest, I always get the good-looking guys. Joey loves me, my producer.
When are they coming in?
They're handsome and funny. Can't beat it. Jamie Carden and not Fuzz. Sorry.
You can call me Fuzzy. That's fine.
Cliff Roberts.
Yes.
Also known as Fuzzy, but I don't know why. What are you going to say?
I'd just like to say one thing. Hello, I'm not Johnny Cash.
You're not Johnny Cash. You actually sound a little bit like Johnny Cash today.
Yeah, you got the cowboy hat going.
He does, and the all black. Very slimming.
Yeah. You wonder why I always dress in black.
Yeah.
Do you don't always.
Look thinner.
Yeah.
Hey, my favorite memory of you is in a towel. So.
Oh,
we didn't have a black towel.
No black towel.
It's a different show.
Well, these guys are always doing something over at the Manchester Arts Center and around town. So what is it now?
This time we're doing a country show. We're going to do Ring of Fire.
Oh no, Johnny Cash?
Johnny Cash. It's the life and music of Johnny Cash. It's a little different genre for us. We're used to the 50s and 60s. But this time we wanted to do something a little different, and we're really looking forward to it.
Well, okay, now when was Johnny Cash around?
About the same time as 50s and 60s.
Still doing 50s and 60s.
But, he gained popularity, later on, right before he passed away. He pretty much stayed popular from the 50s till he passed away. So he done a lot of remake songs later in his career, and kind of got another round of being really popular. But this starts from the beginning. It's pretty much got everything from his early stuff to the end. So it pretty much.
And all the girls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got 6 ladies.
Yeah. So now, what was the Johnny Cash movie that was out a few years? Walk the Line. Yeah. Is it similar to the movie? Who wrote the script?
I forgot, to be honest with you.
Okay, but it wasn't you. As long as it's not somebody we know, we don't care.
No, this is actually the Broadway version that was on Broadway.
Oh, okay.
And like I say, I always wanted to do a Johnny Cash show anyway. I was going to make my own up like I do the oldie stuff. But then I saw this, I was like, well, that
save you some work,
that,
right?
And save me probably some grief too. It's turned out really good. We've got a really good cast. We've got 6 men, 6 women. Live band. Nobody's Johnny Cash. Right. That's the biggest thing.
So you really meant you're not Johnny Cash.
Right. Everybody says, well, who's playing Johnny Cash? Well,
no
nobody.
One person. Yeah.
It's we're all telling
or everybody.
The story. Well, everybody. I guess that's probably
everybody
better.
Is, yeah. Because I mean that's part of the show. So
that's going to be
everybody says, "Hello, I'm Johnny Cash."
Right.
There's 35 Except for you,
songs,
say, "Hello, I'm not Johnny Cash."
No, he may accidentally do that.
Yeah, that's right.
But there's 35 songs, and it covers pretty much all the staples of his popular songs. There's 1 or 2 in there I wish were in there, but all the real popular ones are in there.
Awesome. So, what about June Cash? Is somebody June Cash, or does everybody get to be her too?
We've got 6. It's mixed up. The guys and girls are singing. There's several songs that are just guys or one guy, and the same thing with the girls, and they all do just a really good job.
Well, let's get the contact information. There's the phone number. Where do you want this, Julia? Your phone. Okay. So that we've got a little bit of time left for people to figure out how to get in touch with you. And is there website?
Yes, they need to go to the Millennium Repertory website. That is www.millenniumrep.org. And there's 2 phone numbers you can see there. You can always call the Art Center, which is 728-3434, and they'll forward you. But the main number is the 570-4489. That takes you straight to Millennium's ticket office.
Okay, so this is coming up pretty quickly, April 13th through the 22nd. It's hard to make things straight on the camera because everything's backwards. Okay, awesome. And so how many shows will there be?
We're going to do 6.
6? Oh my goodness. Well, we were talking before. Are you looking for people to get involved with your productions, or do you, do you pretty much have all the talent?
Well, the oldie show's pretty much, it's closed, pretty much set for what we have there.
And now you're going to do that every year, twice a year, 3 times?
Well, we're getting asked to do it a lot.
Yeah.
We've had to say no a lot of times because we just can't do all of them.
Oh, awesome. So
we've done that show 9 times.
Yes.
Because we had to keep adding to them, but this one was up for auditions. All our Christmas shows are up for auditions, and pretty much everything but the oldie show is up for auditions. And we had a lot of people audition for this. We had like 18 girls audition.
Really? And you had to choose 6 from that?
I had to choose 6.
I bet that was difficult.
I was only supposed to choose 4, but I chose 6.
You chose 6.
Right.
Now, in a small town like this, I grew up being in theater and things like this, and it's hard to say no to people sometimes, isn't it?
It's very hard. It strains relationships sometimes. Yeah, it really does. People don't realize that, but especially the little kids.
Yeah.
See them in the grocery store and
make the cop daddy mad and get arrested.
I'm not worried about the daddies. It's the mamas.
The mamas.
Yes, that's right.
You're right. Those would be the fiercest ones. Okay, so we narrowed it down to 6 men and 6 women. And how long is the show?
It was about 2 hours.
About 2 hours, yeah, with intermission.
Is there an intermission?
There is. And we're selling Goo Goo clusters.
Yes.
Intermission.
Y'all are always really clever about that.
Well, that's part of the Grand Ole Opry. There's a Grand Ole Opry scene, and that was one of their main sponsors. And Martha White, Self-Rising Flour. But
we're not going to sell cups of flour.
Well, and they didn't want to make biscuits or anything.
Yeah,
But Cliff does a really good job. Cliff's got the vocal range. The guys we have it's just perfect for Johnny Cash's range, because a lot of people can sing the high stuff, but nobody can hit those low notes that Johnny Cash hit. And then Cliff hits all of them really good. And we got a guy named Cody Huber that's in it. And he does a lot of Johnny Cash cover
Cody
stuff.
Huber, I know who Cody Huber is.
He does a good job. And the girls are fantastic. They're all way better than June Carter was. So,
that's true.
Yeah, she is. So all the drama and stuff and the drugs and is all that represented, or is it a happy story?
It is. There's everything. His brother dying is in there. There's the scene where his brother dies. The happy times, the bad times, the drug times, the jail, all the prison stuff.
And how did Johnny Cash die? I can't remember. Not that I was
just heart failure, I think. He just
You're not going to say because it's a surprise in the show?
Oh no! Well, in the show,
we tell when he died.
We tell when he died,
Yeah.
but now his brother, died on a saw accident in the logging. So, and he felt guilty for years because he was supposed to be there helping him, and he was fishing.
And he was fishing.
So.
Goodness. Well, I can't wait to see this again. It's April the 13th through the 22nd at the Manchester Arts Center, right?
Yes.
Right.
And you can get tickets online or by calling ahead. And it's a good idea to call ahead because more than likely you'll sell out.
We
Most
hope
of your
so.
shows do.
Yeah. We hope so.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much
Thanks
for being
for having
with
us.
us.
Thank
And
you.
come back next time when you've
We
got
will.
something else to talk about.
All right.
Thank you.
And y'all stay with us. We're going to be right back with more Just Plain Living after this.
All that attention, all you wanted was.
Hello, this is J.D. Oliver from the Smokehouse on Mount Eagle Mountain. Me and my sisters Nancy and Betsy would like to thank you all for your continued support. This year we're celebrating our 50-year anniversary at the Smokehouse. In conjunction with our 50-year celebration, we are bringing Music on the Mountain every Saturday night, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m., featuring the best of Nashville. We have had some wonderful singers, hit songwriters, and Nashville's rising stars have taken the stage. Come out this Saturday night and every Saturday night through the end of the year. Make it a date night or bring the whole family. Help us celebrate 50 years in the community. Music on the Mountain is free every Saturday night at Jim Oliver Smokehouse.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer. I'd like to invite everybody out to the Smokehouse every Saturday night for great music and awesome food.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Some people think that pressing their on-demand button will cost money or make their house explode or something. Of course, neither of these things is true. On-demand is just a way to access thousands of free movies and TV shows. The code to blow up a house is actually channel up, channel down, 2*77.
On demand, thousands of free movies and TV shows on your schedule, and nothing bad.
Welcome back, and we're pleased to have joining us now Jay Johnson. And Jay is from Shelbyville, Tennessee, and has a very important job there because he is the city manager. Fairly new at that position, Jay.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning. How long have you been in Shelbyville now?
I started last July, so about 8 or 9 months now.
And you're finding the job to be how so far?
Oh, I'm enjoying it. There's challenges. There's up and down days, but work with the mayor and the city council, and I'm really enjoying it.
Describe to our audience a little bit about what a city manager does. How do they function?
The city manager is the chief operating officer for a city. In many ways, it's like a school principal or a school superintendent. I work with the various department heads to make sure that the services are delivered efficiently and properly, and a lot of coordination. A lot of my job is making sure the right people are in the right place at the right time.
Now, I'm assuming that the city manager always tries to do the will of the board of mayor and alderman.
Yes, sir.
And how does that information come to you? Does it come to you as something that's decided by the group, or do they speak with you individually about things?
Both. Formally, the city council, as in most cities, meets at least once a month, and they do make formal decisions either through ordinances or resolutions, which gives guidance to the staff. And of course, in a small town like Shelbyville or Tullahoma, I talk to almost all the council members at least once a week, and the mayor and some of them, much more than that. You see everybody, at every time, but they're the ones that set the direction of the city. They're elected by the people, and my job and the department directors is to carry out their directives.
Being fairly new at this, are you a native of Shelbyville, or?
No, I'm a native of Southern Illinois, but I've been in Tennessee most of my professional career, and so I'm very familiar with Tennessee local government.
Now, most cities that have city managers, city administrators, or whatever, so I'm assuming that was something that you aspired to do, that you enjoy doing?
It's something I enjoy doing, and yes, when I was in college, I like local government. I like being able to see the results of your work, being able to help people directly, and so it's been a very good career.
I see. And what sort of preparation, education-wise, does one have to move into the field that you're in?
My background's political science, but I have a great deal of concentration in budgeting and public finance, planning, that kind of thing.
In your capacity as city manager, do you probably have a lot to say about how at least the budget is drafted?
Yes, that is one of the primary responsibilities of the city manager is to again meet with the department directors, draft a budget document, and then the city council goes through and reviews it. We have public hearings, and then they adopt it. And then to carry that another step further, throughout the year, we monitor the budget. We make sure that the expenditures are in line with where they need to be, how the revenues are coming in, and report that back to the mayor and council. It's a never-ending process. Budgeting is a never-ending process.
Because I guess a lot of it is you're assuming or making an educated guess on what kind of revenues you got coming in before you know what you can spend. Is that accurate?
Exactly. You look at what has happened in the past years, what is anticipated. Of course, for not just Shelbyville, but cities throughout the nation, a lot of us are dependent upon sales tax revenues. And the last 3 or 4 years, we've seen a substantial decline in that. Shelbyville is starting to come back up slightly. And so that helps. But yes, you do have to make some educated guesses on occasion.
What is the sales tax rate in Shelbyville?
I believe it's 9 1/4.
9 1/4. Okay, so it's a little bit less than the rate in Tullahoma. Probably helps you to draw some business from surrounding areas to your city.
Perhaps, but I think one of the challenges we have in Shelbyville is what I call the leakage. People go to Franklin or Columbia or Murfreesboro to shop because there are different stores in those communities. And so when people shop in another county, that sales tax money leaves the community. And sales taxes are so important for education.
You guys, I know, as you just mentioned, have had issues or had to deal with the downturn in the economy, just like every municipality has. I think you guys, did you not take a pretty radical step in that you don't do garbage collections anymore? Is that
was debated, but no, the council made the decision to continue.
So you are continuing.
We are continuing. That was just part of my arrival, but yes.
Great way to arrive.
Yeah, great way to arrive. There had been, that's a very costly service.
Sure.
And there had been a lot of debate about how to properly fund it and were there alternatives through the private sector. And it apparently was a very, very big community debate. But in the final analysis, the council made the decision to continue. And, I would argue that it's one of those services that benefits every household in the community. And so it's a very important service the city provides, but it is also, it's labor intensive. And so it's a very costly service. For city of Shelbyville, it's over $750,000 a year just for solid waste collection.
Goodness, yeah. And what is the population of Shelbyville, by the way?
Just over 20,000.
Just over 20,000. So it's a little bit bigger actually than Tullahoma.
It is, and I think the city saw some growth in the early part of the last decade, and then of course the last 3 or 4 years there were just none at all.
So what do you perceive to be some of the bigger challenges your city faces this time?
I think you identified one. Just like all cities, our revenue is not back to where it was, say, 4 or 5 years ago. So that really limits what services the city can provide at what level. The other challenge that Shelbyville has, and again, it's not unique to our community, over the last 3 or 4 years, a lot of capital had to be deferred. Big ticket items on maintenance had to be deferred. And so we've got some issues where our roofs, our air conditioning, heating systems, things like that are needing repair or replacement. Streets. As Shelbyville, like a lot of cities, cut back on street paving. And so we've got to play some catch up there. Of course, one of the bigger unknowns on that is asphalt is petroleum based.
Sure.
And as the price of oil continues to go up, we can do less and less paving with the same amount of money, and we're really watching that closely.
how much of your budget in Shelbyville has to go toward education?
Actually, the county
it's
does
a county
that.
function there.
But what Shelbyville did years ago, a portion of our sales tax, local sales tax that normally would go to a city, the city of Shelbyville devoted to education.
Mm-hmm.
So directly, none of our budget, but we get less sales tax as a city than comparable cities.
I see. But I think you mentioned earlier you do see the things getting better, improving as far as revenue.
We have had in our community, our sales tax growth for the first 6 months of the fiscal year was 4% higher than the same period last year.
Right.
When you're at the bottom, 4% is not a lot, but it's helpful.
Right.
It's helpful.
Okay. Unfortunately, we've run out of time already. I want to thank you so much, Jay.
Thank you very
First time
much.
I've had the pleasure of meeting you, and it's always nice to get our Shelbyville friends on the show. And by the way, a nice tie.
Thank you.
I like that a lot. All right.
Thank you for the invitation.
I appreciate it very much. Folks, we will be right back in just a moment, right after these messages. That was 8 minutes.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force.
Serving Tullahoma.
Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
How can toys like these lead to a 6-year-old's death and leave another child permanently brain damaged? Because they're not toys at all. A safety message from your local fire department and this station.
Oh, there's my cat. Should I put her away?
Lighten it up a little bit.
How's this? Great.
Good. There we go.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors, and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Weakley, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
All right, welcome back, and we've reached the end of another show, John. And
we've weeded them out.
weeded them out, and it's down to me and you again, unfortunately. So, you know, and you know, kind of like old times. We've been there before.
That's all right, folks. We just hope you've enjoyed it.
Yes, absolutely. It's probably more fun now that we've got all the fluff on here.
Oh, yeah, fluff is good.
Yeah, okay.
Fluff is good.
All right, I think we are out of time, John, so we got to go. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, folks. Thanks for watching.